Well, this is my review on the Outdoor Edge Saberback Bowie. All right, I showed a little demo of this fixed blade recently. All right, first off, let's talk about the sheath. I actually like the sheath. As you can see, there's a few different points of retention. You have a strap on the side that keeps it obviously from wiggling much because it does have an open back, which is supposed to make it easier to get in and out. And then of course you have a strap that goes around the guard, so it's not going to be, falling out at all. And it's kind of a drop-down design here with this D-ring. All right, so it can again move freely around, and you have another point of retention here around the handle. Okay, so it's very, very secure when you're not using it. And of course, if you want quick access to it, you don't have to have these snapped. All right, so it's much easier to get to. You'd want to just have this middle strap snapped. But the sheath quality is very nice. Just a simple nylon. They do have the big logo here, which you may like or not like. They also have it on the middle of the handle. All right, so some people don't like that. I personally don't mind it that much. All right, but definitely worth mentioning. So my experience with this has basically been the same as the Bush Demon. If I'm not mistaken, I believe the Bush Demon is a larger version. Okay, it has a longer blade. And then of course the perk to this one is this sawback portion right here. Now in the demo, if you guys notice, these are very, very sharp. And this cuts wood very nicely, but you can't really use this to cut down a tree. It's much better suited for notching. Okay, I tried multiple times to get completely through, like a 3.5, 4 inch, in diameter log, and I just couldn't do it. Couldn't do it in any position, whether I was, because at some point I had it down on the ground. I was trying to use it like this. I tried it sideways. It cuts in quickly, but then it stops. It doesn't want to cut all the way through because there's not a big run of it. It's much smaller here. Okay, if maybe if it was the entire length, it might be a little bit easier to get all the way through. But what happens is as you're cutting through, all the wood just packs these teeth. It literally gets packed in and it immediately stops cutting. So it's a very aggressive saw style, and it cuts very well, but only for a very brief amount of time. You have to remove it, and you have to actually literally, physically take out all those little wood chips, go back, try cutting again. It's just not, it's not ideal at all for that purpose. But it is very good for notching, okay? And you do, a lot of notching in, building shelters and such. So it does have a purpose. If you're choosing between, say, the Bush Demon and this one, it depends on your actual, purpose for the knife. The Bush Demon I really liked because it was very lightweight and slim, and it was able to chop smaller branches. Okay, this doesn't have a lot of weight to it, so chopping into a tree, it's not as successful as heavier, thicker blades, but it really excels in cutting down all the smaller stuff. Okay, when you have a heavy, thick blade and you try to cut down like a twig, but it's green, so it's not going to snap at all. But you can't cut through it very easily with a heavy blade because the heft of the blade just pushes it through. Whereas something lighter is easier to hack at, lighter brush. Hence the Brush Demon being really great for clearing, light twigs and stuff like that. Now, as far as the ergonomics, I mean, it's identical to the Bush Demon in that this hooks up on the bottom, which is nice. But if you choke down and you don't have a secure grip, like when I chop, I tend to have kind of an open grip to let this flick forward, for a little bit more strength. And when I was doing that, it was rubbing on the bottom of the pinky, so it was a little uncomfortable. So if you're gonna choke down on this, I just suggest, a tighter grip. Besides that, I do like that there is a palm swell. Okay, and if I turn this sideways, you can also see that where it's thinner up here and gets fatter. It fills out the hand. Okay, so it is comfortable to hold and to swing around. It is nice and lightweight, and it has a nice thin blade here. Just like the Bush Demon, this is much better suited for clearing brush as opposed to chopping thick wood. Okay, so as a chopper, not that great at all. Okay, there's many, many better options out there. Thicker, heavier blades are gonna have more of a chopping power. So essentially, this is the same as the Brush Demon, only with a smaller blade, but with the added benefit of having the saw back. Okay, that may be good or bad, just depends on your specific needs and how you're gonna use the knife. But overall, I like it. I just prefer the Brush Demon more because I do have dedicated saws for notching and stuff like that, so I don't prefer it to be on the back of the blade. But yeah, I mean, that's pretty much it. That's my opinions on this Saberback Bowie. It does have a lanyard hole here if you wanted to wrap a lanyard for more secure grip. Kind of have mixed feelings on that. We've talked about that in the past. You know, if you slip on something and you let go of your grip, having a lanyard on your wrist, that means that it's going to stay by you, which means it's going to swing down, possibly cut your body, possibly swing back up and cut your arm, who knows. It does secure your grip if you're holding on to it, but if you slip, you're probably better off not having a lanyard attached to your hand, so the knife does go flying away from you as opposed to towards your body. But, you know, that's just personal preference, I guess. So there you go, guys. If you have this knife or the Brush Demon, please post your feelings about them down below. It's always good to have multiple opinions on something. So thanks for watching. Hope you guys have a great day, and I'll see you soon. Take care.